Hey, we were talking about that girl, the one that I fell in love with. She was pretty cool, man. She was. It just didn't work out. I fell in love with her, but her family she was living with, they all decided to move away. They went to, I believe it's Houston, Pasadena, as a matter of fact. I think it's where they ended up going. Anyway, man, I remember I was sulking bad. I went through, you name it, I went through it. I remember at that time I partaked in drinking and alcohol, and I remember my neighbors throwing parties with cases of Budweiser, then Bud Light, and then God knows what other beers there were, including the cheap beer that we all make fun of. I think it was Natural Natural Light, and you name it, man. We went through it. And Mad Dog, 2020, all that stuff. But I remember going to my friend's house, my friend at the time, and having a big 64-ounce bottle of Jack Daniels, and kind of drunk from the top. There was about this much of the from the neck. The rest of the bottle was still full. And I remember getting to his house and pouring a drink, spilling my guts out, crying, totally heartbroken. And I remember drinking. Apparently I got so drunk that I went to his bathroom, threw up, and splattered emesis all over the place, which was not a cool thing to do. If you watch this, sir, I totally apologize, and thank you for forgiving me, and thank you for not wanting to kill me in the morning, even though you were making eggs with a knife in the morning, which you were trying to tell me I'm going to kill you, you son of a gun. But thank you for not doing that, and for please thank your wife at the time. That I do apologize for that. I tried to make it up, but I failed miserably. Anyway, I continued drinking until I passed out. By the time I woke up, but she was cooking breakfast, I remember there was only a little bit of the bottle left. Or I drank it the next night, and I remember reaching my home at the time with the car door open, the car going ding ding, and I'm spilled out on the next to the tree, once again with emesis all over the place. It was one of those two times. But that happened right after the breakup and the abandonment, it's how it felt like, of that girl going to Houston. Guys, that one hurt to the core, man. It took me 12, actually a little bit longer than that. I think I was in my 20s. I think I was 22, 23, till I was 33, 30, I guess 36. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's a big time span there. So I missed my 20s and early 30s because I was in so much pain over this girl. And it took that long for me to heal. And when you're that deep, you have those type of deep feelings. You tend to project that. You tend to share that energy. She apparently had that energy of mine till, I finally got over her. It's one of the things that the psychics say, that you end up projecting, you end up giving that energy. And of course, at that time, I wasn't as spiritual as I am now. I wasn't as enlightened as I am now, where I can call my energy back. So it took that long. But once I did, I got involved with this woman. She was older than I was. And it was fun. It was fun. It was remarkable. It was a great experience. What I learned from her was exactly what I wanted. What I want in this life. What I want for a relationship. Of course, I was still kind of immature, that I didn't know how to protect it and save it. But then again, she was older, so I'm in my 30s and she's in her, what my age is now. I'm, my 50s. And so while we connected on a certain level, and I'm not talking just intimacy, we connected on a certain level because she was a nurse and I was a nurse as well. And we connected. We had stuff to talk about. Intimacy was great. It was top notch. We did things together. It was fun and it was peaceful. But once again, I was too immature, and so I started getting jealous for no reason. Then again, usually when someone starts getting jealous, there's something there, there's an insecurity, but at the same time, there's little things that being an empath, you can read between the lines, you can judge the room, you can little mannerisms you're able to pick up on, and you're like, hey, that doesn't feel peaceful, that doesn't feel right. I'm not saying she did, because I never found out, I have no complaints. We broke up amicably, but she couldn't take it anymore because of the stuff I was projecting. I was projecting that she was being unfaithful, that she, didn't trust me, this and that. And she told me, she actually voiced it. And I am so glad she did, because it helped me grow. Of course, it took a while before I grew, but still. She said, you're projecting onto me what's your insecurities, but at the same time, you saying that I'm cheating and that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Is that what you're doing to me? Which shocked me when she turned it around. And, if you look at it, from at least nowadays, back then it wasn't so, it was around, but it wasn't so predominant as it is now, the manipulation, the narcissism, things like that. Maybe she was manipulating me. But at the same time, it makes sense. You being, energetic like I am now, that spiritual, that energy you're projecting, and so you end up putting it on that person. And so I realized, hey, maybe I am, but like I said, I had done it so much that she couldn't take it anymore. Although she cared about me, possibly loved me, because she would say that, it just gets to a point where you can't take anymore. And so, she cut it off. We were together one last time. We had, our intimacy, and she said, after this, I think we need to break up. First of all, because of all the emotional stuff that I was going through, and the insecurity. Second is because, I wanted children. I want children, and she's she's in her 50s. The factory's closed, as they say. And, she had grown children too, and it kind of felt weird that I was around and her children were around, and, we're basically the same age. So, there was a little state of being uncomfortable. So anyway, we broke up. It was amicable, but man, it tore the hell out of my heart. It tore it out bad. Second time, or the third time that actually happened, my heart being torn out, and it taking 10 years, over 10 years to get over it, from the first real one, the one that I told you guys I really loved, and then now to this woman that showed me a different side. But it once again, it didn't take us long to get over. It took about five years, but still, it going through the grieving process, because you're grieving not just the death of relationship, but you're grieving also that person not being there anymore. I mean, because I would go over to her home, stay the weekend, stay a week, 2 weeks, um, you know, do whatever do whatever we were gonna do. Is mostly going, shopping or working around the house that she had. She had her own home, of course, and then I'd come back and I'd do the same thing in my home. And or she'd come to my home, and although at the time my mom was around, that also made it very very awkward. But she would stay a couple of nights with me, a couple of days. I mean, so it was mutual back and forth. It was very balanced. But once again, when you let your emotions and you let your insecurities start taking over, it starts destroying things. But I learned from it. So once again, it was hard, and it was a hard lesson. And I haven't seen her since. I think one other time after that, she invited me to her home. We were still talking, and I went by, and I don't know what it was, but we kind of said her goodbyes, and I never saw her again. And if she's online or whatever, and she sees this, hey, thank you for teaching me what I really wanted, and I appreciate you, and you'll always have a place in my heart. And once again, it's encapsulated at that time, not now. I mean, it just, you grow, you move forward.